Welcome everyone, this is a Transformers Pretenders review. Today I'll be taking a look at Skullgrin. But before we take a look at Skullgrin, let's take a look at the packaging he comes in. This is the original 1980s vintage packaging. It has nice artwork in the front. Got a picture of the transformation process at the top. And on the back you have this really nice battle scene. The reason I really like collecting these Generation 1 Transformers boxes is because of the neat artwork they have on the back. And I really wish that Hasbro would take this concept and incorporate it on their new generation packaging, particularly in the Generations line of packaging. So that would be a really cool move on Hasbro's part if they did that. But on to the rest of the box here. We got a description of the character as well as his technical specs. And let's look at the figure itself. Here is Skullgrin. This is his shell mode. As you know, Pretenders have shells that hide their inner robots. It's supposed to be able to disguise the fact that they are actually robots by having this outer shell. And here is Skullgrin's outer shell. It actually is really nicely detailed. If you can make out, there's different grooves and dimples and so forth on the plastic, so really nice detailing there. You've got spikes all over this character here, or this figure, on the back, on the shoulders, the horns as well, the knees. Just a fantastic looking figure in terms of the details. As you can see, it's a white, gray, and pink. There is a little bit of articulation with the shell. The head can rotate a little bit from side to side, and the arms can rotate, as you can see, but that's pretty much all the articulation you get with this outer shell. So with that said, let's take a look at the weapons. You get two weapons. You get this sword and this blaster, which does split apart, so you can hold the sword the sword and the blaster together like so. Or what you can do also, as I said before, you can just split apart the blasters like this and put one in each hand. So you do have some playability with the accessories, as you can see. Alright, so let's take a look at the actual transforming robot inside of this shell. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the belt here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull apart the shell. And take out the actual robot here. Bring out his feet and rotate the arms out. And here is a look at the inner robot, the head sculpt. And as you can see, the colors match the outer shell. You've got the pink and the gray. And it's got articulation like so. The head does not rotate, legs rotate as well, and the feet of course rotate, but that's for transformation. So he can hold the guns. There's actually smaller peg holes here which match up to these pegs on the guns, so you could peg these in. Kind of like that. Dual blasters. And go ahead and take those out. And this guy has a assault tank mode. Basically what you want to do to transform him is take the feet like that and then rotate up the legs, and then back here you want to bring these little cannons out. They kind of replace the hands, as you can see, and then rotate the arms back, and you can see here on the bottom there's the main wheel here, as well as these two smaller wheels, so it can slide pretty well. It's got some good motion going across the surface there. But then you also can put on these weapons here on the side. And a lot of the Pretenders, whether you look at the Autobots or the Decepticon Pretenders, they're similar like this. They have a robot mode and kind of a assault mode like this. So it's it's all right. You can see Looks pretty cool, but then you have the head here, which you can't really hide back there. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what Pretenders are, a shell and an inner robot. So, there you go. I picked up this figure a couple years ago, back in the time when I was actually experimenting. I wanted to try out a lot of Transformers lines, for example, Transformers Energon, Armada, and Cybertron. And the Pretenders line was one line I had looked at, read about, but haven't actually had in my collection. So I decided to pick up this figure. I picked it up off of eBay for around $30, including the box as well. So got a good deal on that. Now, I was skeptical about the whole idea of Pretenders, you know, having outer shells hiding the robot inside. I really don't see how that is of an advantage in terms of the actual cartoon. I mean, if you saw this thing walking down the street, would it draw any less attention than a robot? I don't think so. So that's the problem I had with the actual concept of it. The toy itself is nice. I mean, I like the detailing in the outer shell is fantastic. The fact that the shell has articulation at all is quite amazing and quite nice. So I don't think I'll be picking up any more of these Pretenders. The Autobot Pretenders I certainly don't really care for. The Decepticon Pretenders are pretty cool because they're more creature-based or more monster-based, like Skullgrin here. But I don't think I'll pick up any more. But I do like this. It's nice to have this piece of history in my Transformers collection. Alright, well thanks for watching. This has been my review of Transformers Pretenders Skullgrin.